Unfortunately, we could not get that back-to-back 10x or 25x on the YouTube videos. As you guys saw in Thursday night's video, we hit this one. But last night, we got real close on the 6 flex that I told you guys to protect. We swept the WNBA quite easily. Look at the Las Vegas Aces, not even close to their lines. Kelsey Mitchell was a bit more of a sweat, but they both cashed here in this Indiana stack. The only problem was the Cubs. I believe they only scored 1 run, so obviously we're not going to cash that hits, runs, RBIs. But that just proves how correlated these props actually are. Unfortunate there, but we got the 0.4x. As for the other two slips, there was crazy bumps on the CFL plays. I did comment to just tail it either way, and you could see the bumps didn't really affect it. Both stacks didn't even hit, so Jake did not go over with Reggie, and same thing for Mitchell. He did not end up going with Tim White. That's just unfortunate. As for the Toronto stack, DNP on Jansen and David Schneider did not even play. And then the Texas stack also did not hit. So honestly, pretty poor there. We went 0-3 last night. I guess the 0.4x on the 6 flex. Let's get into today's board. I'm going to be building up a protected play for this esports. And it's crazy. It says $50 for me, but I'm not even allowed to play that much. I'll do in a second. So let's just start off with that esports play. I know a lot of you are going to be wanting to tail that. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to be doing only CS2. And it's going to be a 4-man. Recently, they have actually nerfed the correlation on CS2. I believe like 2 nights ago. Now, if you build a 6-man with correlated esports, I believe it's going to only pay 21x. So I will be building a 4-man that's going to pay 9.5x. Again, that used to pay 10x. It did get nerfed. Let's get straight into it right away. The first pick I'm going with is this guy Card. I'm grabbing him on his over 27.5. Map 1-2 kills. All 4 picks are going to be quite late, so you should be able to get this full slip in. So this guy plays for W7M, and the correlation in esports is very simple. When you're taking a guy on his over, so he plays for W7M, you want to be taking one of his opponents on his over too. So he's up against Audic. So you want to find someone from Audic that is also good enough to take on his over. And in this case, it's going to be this guy here, Matios, on his over 29.5 map 1-2 kills. Now maps are not time based, but they're actually round based, which means if there is more rounds, that's going to make more opportunities for kills for both of these guys. Yes, technically one team could be doing better than the other, but in general, with more rounds, there's going to be more kills for both of these players. Think about it in UFC terms. If someone gets knocked out in the first round, they're both going to cash their under significant strikes. But if the fight goes the whole distance, it's more likely that both those fighters within that fight are going to cash their significant strikes. It's a decently similar concept in esports, so that's why we're stacking these two guys together. Now, the reason I choose Card and Matios, for example, is I want to be comparing this to Underdog and see if I'm at least getting the same line or slightly better line. In the case of Card here, we're actually getting a flat line compared to Underdog, but there's no other guys that have any better value. So I'm going with this, for example. Honestly, the correlation is what matters most, but you still want to be looking at the players that have the most value. And Matios is a better example because he set at 29.5 on Prizepicks. He set at 30.5 on Underdog. We don't know exactly who's correct between Underdog and Prizepicks, but we might as well fish value wherever we could get it. So that's why we're going with Matios on his over 29.5 map 1-2 kills, rather than any of his teammates. Same exact concept. We're going to go over to a different game. This is going to be Nouns versus Wildcard. Again, 9 p.m. So everyone should be able to get this in. But this time we're going with the unders. We want quicker maps and we want these guys to cash their unders together. So obviously we're taking a guy from Nouns. We want to be taking a guy from Wildcard too. And in this case, we're going with this guy JBA and grab his under 29.5 map 1-2 kills. Once again, if we compare this to Underdog, 28.5 on Nasdaq on Prizepicks compared to Underdog where he's at 27.5. So 1 kill of value there. We want to be on the under. And for JBA, he is set at 29.5 on Prizepicks and 29.5 on Underdog. So it's not really getting any value on him. But again, with the correlation, it's good enough to stack these guys together. This unfortunately only pays 9.5x. Would have paid 10x 2 nights ago. We could lock this in. I wish I could actually put this full 50 protected, but as you guys know, I am limited if you've been watching for a while. So I'm just going to put $5 on that because that's what I'm allowed to do. So we're going to submit this one. Hopefully you guys have like a $50 protected, so definitely go max it out. Then you could possibly make $475. If not, you get your money back. Can't be mad at that. So go over to NHL for the second slip. It's going to be the last slip, and I'm loving it because it is game 1 of this Florida versus Edmonton series. If any of you care about hockey, who do you have winning the cup? I'm personally going for Edmonton. What I'm also going for is a nice high-scoring game tonight. The first prop I want to go with is this. When the goals allowed in the first 10 minutes, we want to be taking the over the half goals allowed in the first 10 minutes. That's for either goalie. So basically, there has to be a goal within the first 10 minutes. That's all it means. If you go over to Bet365, you're going to see they do have this line. First 10 minutes prop, it's exactly this. Over half a total goal within that first minute is set at minus 150. That is absolutely amazing to see. You want to be on this over. The under is not the correct play. Let me translate this for you guys into actual numbers or percentages. And if you see minus 150 at the top and 110, there's about a 55.75% chance that this prop does go over. And notice I don't say 70% chance, 80% chance, 90% chance. That does not exist on Prizepicks. The best edge you could get is around like 55 to 59% chance. So whenever you guys see like all these people touting 60% wins every single day, it's all BS. Just wanted to put a little side note there. But yeah, this is an absolutely great prop to be taking in the entry, and it's going to get even better because we're going to be correlating it with 2 other props. That first one is going to be Alexander Barkov on his over half an assist. That second one is going to be Bouchard on his over half an assist. Now, to get an assist, there needs to be a goal within the game. So if in the first 10 minutes, Florida is scoring a goal, it's quite likely that Barkov's going to be on the other side of the goal. Maybe he's the one scoring, but maybe he's also the one assisting. So what could happen is that these two props cash together within the first 10 minutes. On the other hand, if Edmonton is the one scoring that goal within the first 10, then Evan Bouchard could be on the other side of the assist, and he has been doing very well in the assist department. I'll go and show you the stats on both these guys. Barkov was only cleared as 3 in the past 10 games, but I don't look at that. I don't really care. What I care about most is the juice. And it's not like there's crazy juice on the over. You see minus 120 on the over, minus 110 on the under. But what does this mean is that the over is more likely than the under, despite what the last 10 games say. Remember, this is a completely different series and completely different pacing. If we go over to Bouchard now, you're going to see the opposite, actually. You're going to see he actually doesn't even have juice towards the over or the under, yet he has cleared this in the past 7 out of 10 games. I try to show in every single video, it's like these last 10 games logs don't matter at all. He's actually been getting 2 assists. He actually got 2 assists in 4 of these 10 games, yet he's less juice than Barkov is. But people automatically think because of this game log, this is the better play. But truthfully, it's Barkov that's actually more likely to go over his over, despite what this says, because the sportsbooks are pricing in all kinds of things that you can't even imagine. You know, they're billion-dollar companies. Who knows what they have built into their models? And they're saying Barkov is more likely to actually hit than Bouchard on that over. That being said, I don't mind taking Bouchard at a 50-50 prop because of his correlation. Like I said, if there is a goal within the first 10 minutes, it's quite likely that Bouchard's on the other side of one of those goals. And I'm going to be stacking this up with another play. That's going to be Leon Draisaitl on his over 2.5 shots on goals. Now, he is a shooter and he's a goal scorer. I mean, he only scored 3 goals in the past 10 games, but it's still plus 150 odds. Like, it's pretty likely that he scores. He is on that main power play unit. He is one of the best players on Edmonton, you know, behind Connor McDavid. So if Draisaitl is scoring, it's more likely that he's going to score. These are the games that he did score versus Vancouver on 514, Dallas 523, and Dallas on 529. If you notice shots on goal prop, he cashed in each of those ones, right? He's got 4 shots and cashed on 514, cashed 3 shots on 523, and cashed 3 shots on 529. So if he is actually getting this 3 shots on goal, it's likely he's scoring. And if he's scoring, it could happen within that first 10 minutes. It could also be an assisted goal from Evan Bouchard. So technically, in a perfect world, you could cash a Leon Draisaitl shot, which happens to be a goal, assisted by Evan Bouchard in the first 10 minutes. Now you're cashing this, and you're getting a 1 out of 3 on Leon Draisaitl. This is how powerful stacking things up are rather than going over to NBA and grabbing a random prop here, going to WNBA 2H, grabbing a random prop here. You have the ability to stack on Prizepicks and kind of use the same game parlay to your advantage, so you might as well. So this is why I'm loving this stack in the NHL. Not saying it's going to hit, but it definitely hits more than 1 in 10 times. Now, for you hockey fans, you're probably thinking, why am I not going with McDavid tonight on his 1.5 points? And if you actually check his prop, at least on these sports books, he is actually juiced towards the under. You got BetMGM juicing him towards the under at minus 130, and DraftKings juicing him towards the under at minus 125. So I don't really want to go against the juice in this case. Yes, I know if Bouchard's getting assists, it's probably very likely that Connor McDavid's also clearing this over 1.5 points. But I don't mind taking Draisaitl tonight. I do think it's a good spot. And like I said, they are on that power play unit together. Leon Draisaitl at right wing, Evan Bouchard at that right defender. So when they're playing in these little triangles, it's very likely that if Leon Draisaitl is scoring a goal on this power play unit, Evan Bouchard is definitely going to be on the other side of that goal and get that assist for us. So that is going to be the 2 4-mans for tonight. Remember, he's only have to hit 1 in 10 times. They're paying 10x, and we cashed 2 days ago. So let's try to lock this one in.